Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And we're here to talk about something very urgent and important.
Super Academy.
For those who may not be aware, there's an amazing web series on YouTube called Super Academy. The premise, essentially, is it's a college for superheroes, featuring very likable heroes and cool villains. All of it is superbly shot and produced.
Now, for those who remember, we recapped the Season 1 episodes in great detail on our show, Super Academy Chronicles. It's also worth noting our friends from the Movie Machine podcast on hotchocolatemedia.net. Jacob Gulliver, Kyle Decker, and Ben Lifson created Super Academy.
They did Season 1, which we and the fans loved. Want to see a Season 2? Well, you're in luck with the Season 2 Kickstarter!
All right, now, to anyone out there, here's what you can do to help. Check out the Season 1 episodes, our recaps with the fun live stream events on Super Academy's YouTube channel. You'll find a link to the Season 2 Kickstarter in the description, like at the bottom of this video.
We then implore you all to spread the word and donate what you can.
Remember, the more exposure this gets, the more even the smallest donation helps.
There are various tiers of reward with your donation.
Rewards such as keychains, magnets, t-shirts, DVDs and Blu-rays, artwork, and most important, credit in making it all happen.
Once again, we are appealing to your sense of community and humanity to donate and spread the word about the Kickstarter ASAP, because time is of the essence, and these fine folks need your help.
This is your opportunity to be a hero to Super Academy. Today!
Link in the description. Okay, are you ready to go on for the Shannon, the Christmas of July? I forgot to ask.
Yeah, but you don't know. Do you know the intro?
Yeah, I know the intro. I have. I'll just edit it. I'll just splice these two. So just pick up with the intro. I got it.
All right. Oh, the weather outside is frightful,
but inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Want more?
Look for
Season 4.
Bum. Yes, that's right, folks. We are back with another Christmas in July because, scheduling has just been it's just, we are busy little elves at the North Pole preparing for Christmas Dragon, or more accurately, we are lazy Christmas shoppers who have waited till the last minute to buy our Christmas presents. At any rate, we're kind of behind, so we're just going to jump right to it, Dragon. What are we talking about today?
Guardians of the Galaxy. The animated series, to be exact.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of an Awesome Mix song, but one's not coming to me.
You know why we're talking about Guardians, Tiki?
Why?
Because we're hooked on a feeling.
I'm hard on believing. But
yes, that's true. Yes, that's what we're talking about, Guardians of the Galaxy. And oddly enough, if you folks can believe, we actually, before we knew this existed, I don't know if it, this wasn't the first season, so there's a good chance it probably exists and we just had no idea about it. We pitched a Guardians of the Galaxy special related to the movie, so that's the one difference. Ours was related to the movies.
Yeah, yours had a very epic entrance by Yondu. That's like the main thing I remember about it. You had like music and everything.
Yeah, I had like Joy to the World.
Yeah.
Honestly, a couple of my ideas there's like shadows of my ideas were kind of in here, believe it or not. And that's, again, I had not seen it before I came up with that. A little bit of the Ravagers in here, kind of what I had in mind with the Ravagers in mind. Not a lot of it, it's like a little shadow. We'll get there. We'll get there.
And once
But
again, this episode, like everything else in Guardians of the Galaxy, including the Epcot ride, I just have to laugh because there's shadows of the Epcot ride in here. It's just like, it's all about Quill's childhood.
Yep. So Tiki, I had shown you a little bit of the animated Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've watched like the first couple episodes of it on my own. It's fine. It's I don't know. I like it okay. It's just there's just a whole lot of TV I'm getting into right now, so it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But
I'll say Marvel Animation on TV, the way it's going, and I kind of told you this is kind of the selling point, is that compared to what they're doing on TV right now, it's probably the best they've got on. It's not saying much, but it has good moments, and it's not bad. It's just it's not the most amazing thing, but it's in the style of the Guardians movie, which I do really enjoy with the Guardians. That earns some instant points there.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because for me, it's like certain characters are more in the style of the movies than others, and certain characters that are kind of taking more liberties with. Like, and this is just me, like, going off of this one episode, so tell me if I'm more accurate, like, based on the rest of the show, but it definitely seems like Star-Lord is obviously like a Chris Pratt avatar, no doubt. You know what I mean? It seems like Rocket seems a lot different. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the vocal delivery, maybe it's the characterization. Rocket, it seems like they're taking some liberties with, as well as Drax. Like, Rocket and Drax seem to be like the most, it's not like they're drastically different from the movie or anything, but I don't know.
Well, it's kind of funny. Also, the Telltale game is kind of synonymous with this sort of thing as well. Is that they're both very much aesthetically they're the movies, but they're aesthetically they're the movies. Like the Telltale game, it's really good. I recommend it to everyone. And this, they look like they're going for like a look like the movies, but they're kind of they're pulling a lot of comics into it. Like, for example, this show is more like it's kind of like a what if, it's kind of like it's a loose continuity with the movies. That's what this series is going for. It's like a loose continuity with the movies. Is that they defeated Ronan, but they bring him back in the show. So it's like a thing where they did kind of wipe him out, but he comes back. And everyone's it's like they actually face Thanos. So it's not like in the MCU continuity, but it's kind of like using the movie as a starting point. So pretty much what happens in the movie is kind of like the unofficial pilot to the show.
Mm.
And we had some background, which that's the other thing I did show, like the shorts they had, like kind of little pilot shorts with, like the origin of Peter Quill, the origin of Gamora, the origin of Rocket, which I already remember.
That's right. Yeah, I remember seeing those.
So that's essentially, it's basically, what if we add like a little bit more to kind of the movies as a jumping off point, which kind of infuses a lot of comic book stuff into it, and you're allowed to play with all the the toys in the toy box of the MCU, but not the movies. The MCU of the animated. Of the animated Marvel shows, which really are not that impressive, I gotta say. Unfortunately,
I've heard Agents of Smash is a particular kind of bad.
All I'm gonna say, I'm not getting into a whole rant or anything. All I'm gonna say is that there was Marvel's problem is that they had quality shows like Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and especially
that one's good. Yeah,
that one and Spectacular Spider-Man. Those were the two crown jewels they had.
I've also heard good things about Spectacular. Yeah,
and unfortunately, both of them only lasted 2 seasons, and they both got canceled out of the blue just for very dumb reasons. Just they just didn't want to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. No, not the creators, but the networks kind of shut them down. They had plans to go on and do more stuff, but again, just. And then they replace with stuff that ties more into the movie. And by when I say that, it means absolutely does not tie into the movie. It's just saying, hey, what's in the movie right now? Let's put Ultron on the show. Hey, what's going on in the movie right now? Let's give Cap a new costume. Let's split them up temporarily. That's literally what they're doing right now. And that's why, honestly, my hope is that this and the new Spider-Man show they have cooked up is kind of doing what I think Guardians and this new Spider-Man show might start to slowly turn around. I'm always hoping for the best. But again, a lot of times just to kind of like, trying to cash in on the movies. That's kind of what they're doing in the animation right now. But again, however it may go between DC and Marvel, DC's always going to have one up on the animation front on Marvel. It's always going to be that way.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyway, so that's pretty much the Guardians. And also the Telltale game, basically, it's the comics, but they look like the movies. That's essentially what the Telltale games are. But it's fun. Anyway, we're talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy animated special, which I want to say is the finale of the first season. It
is, yeah.
Episode 26. All right,
let's dive into it. So let's see. We we begin like in the middle of a chase sequence where, or I'm sorry, is there a flashback before that? I don't know.
Well, not before it. But we're on nowhere right now. Of course, no familiar location. Again, big takeoff, and again, essentially the Bible of the show is the first movie. So they're on nowhere, and Gamora is chasing down Altru. That's the Altru. Yeah, I think it's Altru because I think Altru for altruism.
Allstate.
I keep thinking it's a parallel for altruism. That's why I keep thinking it's Altru. I think it's Altru. It's like Al, hey buddy.
Hey, so, can I call you Al or maybe just Din? Or how about Laddie? Come here, Laddie.
Exactly. So Gamora's chasing their bounty, Altru, who's getting away on nowhere. Rocket and Groot kind of mock Gamora for this, and he just kind of slipped away from Gamora rather easily. And they're saying, "Oh man, she must have lost a step." Gamora, of course, says something really snarky back to him, saying, "Oh, you two were lab experiments," which is how they met in the history of the show.
I was out, experiment on your face. Now, Dragon, I hope I'm right about this.
I want to make it clear too. I haven't seen the whole series. I've seen like at least the first half.
I'm going to be embarrassed if I'm wrong about this. Okay, so just bear with me here. It sounds like it's Jason Alexander as Rocket.
It's not.
Damn it! Who is it?
I would have. Well, it's not him. I would have led with if it were Jason Alexander, I believe, because that would have been mind-blowingly awesome.
It sounds like Jason Alexander. He's got like kind of a Jason Alexander-esque delivery. Like I knew that was kind of wishful thinking on my part. But okay, who is it? Who plays Rocket?
Well, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head who. Because I know like 3 out of the 5 of them.
Of course, the big one I know is Kevin Michael Richardson as Groot.
Yes, Vanessa Marshall, who was in Spectacular Spider-Man, as a really good Mary Jane, by the way. She's a really good Mary Jane.
Nice.
She plays Gamora. Basically, everyone except Rocket and Drax are off the top of my head. One of my favorites in animation, Will Friedle. He voices Star-Lord, one of my favorite characters in Guardians. So, to me, that was a match made in heaven. Which is again, I should say this is while we're talking about the voice actors, so we can move on. They're all. Again, point of Genesis is the movie, but they're not doing impressions of the actors.
Well, that's the thing, especially Rocket. Like, Rocket in particular, I don't want to dwell on it, but he seems like he's really doing his own thing with it. And that's why it sounds like kind of, like I said, like a Jason Alexander-esque delivery for me.
I think it captures kind of what Rocket's all about, though. I think it captures, like, the elements. Anyway, so let's see.
Hold on. Just because I feel bad, I'm just going to look this up really quick.
All right.
Yeah, so Kevin Michael Richardson as Groot is, I mean, he only says 3 words, but it's great. Dragon, I remember, there was just this really, really misleading headline on a news article that was like, "Move over, Vin Diesel, Marvel recasts Groot." And I'm like, what? For the animated series. I'm like, oh, God, come on. Okay, Trevor Duvall plays Rocket.
Yeah, I thought I had no idea what the last name was. I knew it began with like Trevor or something that sounded like Trevor for the first.
Yeah, Trevor Duvall. All right, just to give credit where credit's due, and also,
what do we got for Drax?
David Sobolov. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Nah.
Sobolov. It's yeah. Anyways.
A lot of these guys have really extensive video game work, but kind of alludes.
And that guy also plays Blackjack O'Hare.
Okay.
I'm just amused that Blackjack O'Hare exists in the series. That's awesome.
Again, they do a lot of kind of deep cuts with kind of the cosmic side of Marvel in this show. Again, it's a lot of you're getting really kind of the nitty gritty of like all the corners of the Guardians universe in the show, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, well, just to give credit where credit's due for the voice actors. All right. So Cosmo comes in to ruin the fun. And Dragon, I love that Cosmo seems like he's a regular character. Am I right?
Yes, he's like a semi-regular because he's in like anytime they're on Nowhere, he's going to be there. That's the thing. Like, whenever they go to Nowhere, because again, he basically kind of runs Nowhere with the Collector. That's kind of the idea.
Gotcha. And I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I am skipping over a few things. Yep. We see Drax in the marketplace. He's asking, he gets help from an elderly female. Thank you, elderly female.
They tell Drax to be on the lookout, and basically, and this is so funny, and this is the thing I really got to praise with Drax in this show, though. They really do, if you look at it in a certain respect, because again, it's like a loose kind of continuity, but it very much shows you kind of like the Drax from the first movie where he's still it's before he gets like so jovial and so like He gets really jovial in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is great. It's a good progression for the character. I'm saying we're still in kind of that fun
It's
space.
kind of a nice, like, in-between, I feel like. Like, he's a little bit lighter than he is in the first Guardians, but he's still kind of got that edge to him. And I don't know, Dragon, like, I've heard complaints about him in Volume 2. Like, I personally don't stand by those, but I've heard that he's, like, a little too much of a comedic character in Volume 2.
And to anyone who, I get what people are saying. I'm going to hit upon it for one moment, then we'll get back to things. But I would just point them in the direction. We still get that bit with Mantis where she touches him. Basically, she realizes he's hiding. He's kind of covering it up with he's kind of covering up with humor.
He's overcompensating, basically.
Exactly, which it's kind of it's a very human trait with Drax. It's kind of it's a fun way of having your cake and eating it too. But it's a clever way of having your cake and eating it too by doing that.
Sure.
So anyway, again, Drax is supposed to be on the lookout for the Calusian fugitive, and he's pointed in the direction. Did you see where the Calusian fugitive went? This shawled figure points in that direction. Thank you, elderly female. Really, it's all true.
Mm-hmm.
All true. Yeah.
All state.
Anyway, so let's see. So Groot, cleverly, he's lifting Rocket way up high, and they're kind of getting the bird's eye view for a vantage point here, so Rock can basically shoot the crap out of the place. And as he's trying to, again, not just like taking aim, but like when he sees him, like the white of his eyes or anything. No, he's just gonna fire randomly, calling him out, which is such a bad plan, but so hilariously over the top. Cosmo then arrives to remind the Guardians that, hey, you're welcome here, but seriously, I mean, I didn't. You guys are welcome here, but just don't blow up half the place while you're here.
Guardians cause so much property damage. Every time I see Cosmo, I think of Dolph Lundgren now. Thanks, movie fights.
Yeah, well, again, I'm down for that.
It's perfect casting. It really is. It really is.
Yeah. And again, we have seen Cosmo. He was in the first movie.
Right.
Well, then he's in both.
And he's in Mission Breakout.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. So, you taste. Oh, yeah, you're just taking the fun out of it now, Cosmo. So let's see. Drax is very determined. He charges for what he thinks is Haltru, which in reality looks nothing like Haltru, and that is Gamora. And he jumps over, just missing her, like leaps right over her. And
Womp, womp, womp.
You're not the Calusian. What was your first clue? Drax having no grasp on sarcasm just yet. He says, well, first it was your green skin, then it was your weapon, then it was your female proportions.
So essentially none of the traits that Ultra would have.
Nope, and then Rocket just reminds Gamora that Drax does not speak sarcasm. So Rocket reveals that basically kind of exposits a little bit here that we're going for the bounty on Altru, and there's no sign or interest. And apparently there's no word back from Quill. It seems like Quill's head isn't really in the game. He doesn't really have much interest in the show. Where is he? And then we have a really, really great kind of Orson Welles bit with Star-Lord.
Yes, I'm so glad you bring that up, Dragon. Thank you. Oh my God, this whole episode is basically a parody of Citizen Kane to a certain extent.
I gotta tell you, me being the big Star-Lord fan that I am, mainly the movie star. I won't mix hairs. I am not like I was there from the beginning. I'm not. I was the movie onwards. Sorry, the Star-Lord just keeps kind of by the books. Like he was kind of a jerk, but he also was like, hey, he's the generic team leader. That's kind of my take on Star before the movies. Anyway, so we have Star-Lord looking in the window of a space store on Nowhere, and he sees it's not a sleigh per se, but it's like something sleigh-like, which is kind of giving this flashback to the sled that he wanted, where he's kind of very Christmas story-esque. And let's hit some tropes, by the way. So, again, kind of like window shopping around Christmas.
Also, out of place Christmas.
True, yeah, like not a Christmas away from home.
Well, yeah, not just that, but like a Christmas in like an unexpected environment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So, he's having a flashback to kind of window shopping with his mother about the sled he wanted, and then we have the wonderful Meredith Quill here telling Peter to put it on his wish list, so Santa might bring it for him.
Oh God, Rosebud.
Yeah. Which is nice. Again, every time we kind of hit kind of Peter's past and we see we see Meredith. It's always kind of a nice little heartfelt moment. I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's always kind of like a nice little kind of continuous.
No. I mean, I will give it credit where credit's due. The payoff for this is really good.
Yeah.
Like, the payoff for this is honestly both, like, really funny and kind of heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's always for me is every time I think of, like, some of the great moments from Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I mean, no, two. Of course, we've gone over a Love Fest on two. I'm just focusing on one for my point here. Is that the wonderful moments in one? I always go with that.
The most poignant stuff about the first movie all ties back to that character. Yeah,
absolutely. And of course, just that bit at the end where it's Peter, take my hand. It's like, oh my god,
take my hand, Peter. I know. You've gone on about that.
Oh god, it's so moving. Anyway, so I always have like a soft spot for Meredith because of that. It's just like, oh my god, that's how you get hard into a Marvel movie right there. Yes. Anyway. So Peter's. This is really, I like how kind of our stories kind of coalesce. So we kind of set up our thing with Star-Lord here, and then kind of the main story kind of intersects here. And I like how this happens. While Star-Lord seemingly is out of the game, we see how kind of still on point Star-Lord is. Where Altru is seemingly going for Star-Lord's element gun, which one other small difference. In the show, they do the comic thing where it's an element gun where it shoots elements into just generic laser blasts like in the movie, which is fine. Just
okay, that's clever. That's nice.
I'm saying that's what, like, if anyone's always questioning, like, why isn't the element gun in the movie? This is exactly how the element gun works. It only locks onto him, so only he can use it, and basically he can shoot like water, fire, air, elements.
So basically, it's like an avatar.
Very much so, yes. With electricity as another feature too, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Star-Lord, this is really cool. I love that you can see him in the reflection. He basically pulls the gun on him.
Mm-hmm.
And good news is you have a home. Essentially, you have a home for the holidays. Is kind of what he's getting at. It's like, you have a home. Bad news is you're going back there.
So this is one thing I like about Star-Lord is that he kind of like uses Christmas songs in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of works Christmas songs into his dialogue, like, oh, there's no place like home for the holidays.
Oh, yeah. And
especially if that home is prison.
Well, what's interesting about that, too, to hit upon is that, the show does use, does use the Awesome Mixtape. It does use songs that are like it.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of, like, most of the titles are, the episode titles are songs.
I don't know how it went with seasons 2, and they're going to do a third one. I don't know how the rest of them went, but I know that all the first season songs are song titles.
Dragon, and again, I'm just going to bring this up because I just realized this like less than a week ago. Why hasn't the Beatles song Rocky Raccoon been used in anything Guardians of the Galaxy yet? It's like a little folksy ditty. It's perfect for Rocket. It's perfect for him. And Rocket Raccoon fell into his realm. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, my point is that a lot of times you'll have like a song from the Awesome Mixtape play in the episodes, but again, there's only so many because royalties and rights issues. There's only so many they can use in the show, but they do play like actual songs, and that would logically be on the mix. They never have gone like outside like what the cutoff date was in the first movie, 70s, 80s era music. And while we don't have it here, we do at least reference Christmas music in lyrical form instead of playing it. Which would have liked it because I was expecting Jingle Bell Rock All. Actually, no. There were two songs, because they actually do use a Christmas song, I think, in another episode. They use Joy to the World.
They use the song that you actually used for your Christmas special?
Yeah, but not the traditional version. They use like some other version of Joy to the World.
Okay,
okay. But yeah, it did kind of strike me again, and in hindsight, like I got the soundtrack at some other point. I was like, hey, Joy to the World.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Let's see. So after that, Star-Lord has their bounty. Next scene after that would be... all right. Yes. Oh wait. I guess there's this bit where Altru he plays the damsel for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
They get into a scuffle. He basically plays damsel for a moment. They gets into a scuffle after he points the gun at her and says, "Oh, look at basically pretending not to be Altru."
Oh, I'm so scared for you. I gotta say, he drops that act rather quickly. He's effective with the act, but he drops it immediately.
Yep. They get into a scuffle, and he pulls out the element gun, and she has a few laser blasts here and there.
Pew, pew, pew.
and it puts a big hole into nowhere, and into like one of the base. I guess like kind of like the little, basically it kind of creates a hole in nowhere, which kind of sucks Peter into it.
Mm-hmm.
Altru points the gun at the helpless, seemingly points the gun, again, knowing that the gun will not fire because it's not Star-Lord. You know he's safe, but just the fact that knowing this guy thinks that he's got Star-Lord.
I'm a desperate man, Quill. Are you kidding me? I'm hanging out of the side of a planet right now. I think I have you beat when it comes to desperation.
That's what I love about Star-Lord. He's the guy who's going to cut you down and you're trying to talk.
Oh, and by the way, of course I have issues. That thing is my father.
Yeah. It was always really funny. He kind of cuts the tension like that, just like under.
Right.
So yes, after the desperation bit, he says, don't bother calling your friends. Oh, I promise I won't. Hey, I'll make you a deal. I won't do that. And then basically he says, look behind you. But you should look behind you. And he basically bumps into Groot and the rest of the Guardians. Groot captures him. And also, and I love this, again, Peter, regardless, is going to be safe for it. He points out that, oh, by the way, the weapon only works for me.
Of course.
And then this is cool. I love this. And I love when we use like all the various Star-Lord gadgets here, because we have a bit later on. I was like putting my fist in your, yeah, it's like a little moment. There. He uses the magnet from the opening. Remember how we got the orb?
Magnets!
Yeah, it's like how we got the orb with the Infinity Stone in it, with that little triangular magnet. Just gets his gun back, gets out of the Cosmos is fixing the hatch right after he's caught. Gamora's calling Quill on being off his game, and Star-Lord just kind of brushing it off, saying, "Okay, excuse me while I escort the prisoner to the Milano."
In his heart boxer shorts, just heart boxer shorts, of course.
He does it so full of himself, sans the pants.
Wow, something I forget what remark they have, but wow, Quill's really off his game. And then I love this. Cosmo's like, I know what's wrong with Quill. I read his mind. Quill think about Christmas.
Yep.
He misses Christmas. He misses his childhood. And then, of course, Rocket makes the very astute observation. Ah, great. Quill is missing one more stupid thing from his childhood, and we all gotta suffer for it.
And I tell you, I really love this idea, because I love it when we do this kind of stuff with Drax, and I just love the fact that Drax has an idea to cheer Quill up.
And then Drax had an idea. A wonderful idea. Drax had a wonderful, clever idea.
It's the second time we've had good ideas. And so
I think it's going to be this year's runner, Dragon. I think it's this year's runner. I have a feeling.
Okay. So, yes, again, it's like honestly, got a really good flavoring of the Guardians all around here. So, Rocket's just like, oh, great, now we got another Quill story going on. He's missing his plan again, and we got to make him feel better.
Dragon, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, because I love the premise of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like going to Epcot because Quill visited it as a kid. Yeah. I really want to see the same sort of dynamic with Rocket in that ride. Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, of course,
just another trip down nostalgia lane for Quill.
I still hope that by the end, it's like Rocket's having like the best time at any of them, saying this was such a good idea.
And again, Dragon, I'm going to keep repeating this so it gets into Disney's mind. They have to make reference, like Quill has to have the little motorboats moment. Like, I'm so excited for Horizons.
They're gonna do something like, you shouldn't worry. They're gonna. It's not. Of course, not gonna be like literally the little motorboats, which I would love it if they did that.
If they just did it like beat by beat, like the little motorboats, except for
that's what I'm saying. But anyway, back on.
Like there's even like a little like Russian guy there for some reason.
No, not something. Not a something.
Oh God. Okay. Anyways, we're getting way off topic.
Okay. So we then see, and this is something. Now I pitched something like this, but it was simply.
Yes, you did. Yes, it is a very obvious idea, but it's executed pretty well.
Yeah. To be fair, I just had those straight Christmas lights, which would do the effect. Anyway, this is kind of funny, to be honest with you. You have a very shoddy Christmas Groot costume. Groot essentially he's wearing like a green tarp with like kind of like really like iridescent lights. Like those sort of mad scientist lights he's got.
I think the gag of it is that it would just be more effective to just put lights on the tree because the tree's already there.
The band's like cables and stuff on them. It's like the most shoddy space tree you've ever seen.
And then I love how Drax is explaining Christmas. He's just like, well, according to my research, evergreen it's an evergreen known as Carol, and there's a fat bearded man in a hovercraft that's powered by moon dust. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Moon buzz, like basically that's what he thinks reindeers.
Okay. Right. Moon buzz. Right. Okay.
There's the fact that he thinks the tree is worshipped and its name is Carol because they're Carol. Oh, guys,
right.
This Drax again. This is hysterical, and they're hitting all the right notes. So this is what the Guardians would do for the holidays.
And of course, Groot, he's like a dog. He just tears off the suit immediately. He's like, I'm not putting up with this shit. I am Groot.
Here's the thing. Here's why he tears it off, though. It's hilarious that Rocket points out that he points out two things. One, he's actually, I did kind of call something here that basically they'd be able to tap in the broadcast somehow. So I got a little bit of that. I think I had VHS tape on mine. In the nowhere they had all this stuff, and Stan Lee was like Santa Claus on the TV.
Oh God, right.
That's the thing I had. But anyway, just the point is, all nowhere having that's where you get kind of your Christmassy kind of information from. Basically, like shopping around. But I mean, this is different. It's cool, different. And I like these ideas. I didn't kind of dawn on that they could somehow pick up on the broadcast, and that's how Rocket also has gotten some research, and that's how we get Christmas special in this thing. And basically, he basically got a broadcast of the Christmas Carol, which does definitely shape this episode in many ways. Of course, there's another big Christmas trope for this. We're doing Christmas Carol for the episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big time, yeah.
In so many ways. And basically, Rocket's interpretation. It's such a... I never thought of this with Christmas Carol, but it's so very to the point that, yes, it's about Spectrals scaring...
It's about Spectrals conning a rich guy out of his money.
Yep, and importantly, scaring him in the middle of the night, which then they turn to conning him out of his money. But yes, and then Rocket points out that points out the fact that trees are cut. Yeah, they worship him so much they cut them down, which freaks Groot out. Then he immediately rips everything up. He's like, "Oh my God, they're gonna cut me down!"
Oh, okay, right.
Bear in mind, I am Groot, but yes.
All right, so meanwhile, we have Allstate, who's desperate to explain things to Quill. Yes, I'm going to make a running joke out of that.
So Eltru is pleading with Star-Lord that he has to get to the broker. Basically, the thing he stole, which is why the bounty's been put on him, he stole a talisman. He stole basically a mad... It's like superstitious. I don't believe it actually works, but it's a superstitious, thing that is believed. It's like a dream catcher or something. It's like, hey, it'll ward off stuff. Mm-hmm. Essentially, it tells me I need to get to the broker. Of course, I love a good mention to the broker because I like the broker.
Yeah.
Basically, I have to get this. You have to get this talisman to the broker that you stole from Niza, and basically you stole from the guy who put a bounty out on you to get it back. So Star-Lord's unsympathetic, and I gotta tell you. So again, let's address this now. Star-Lord essentially is our Scrooge. He's our
Scrooge. We got a winner.
Yeah. Kind of our first.
It's kind of funny because Star-Lord is both the person who's the most nostalgic for Christmas and the Scrooge at the same time.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting Scrooge. They broke new ground.
It's a Scrooge in conflict with himself.
Oh God. Okay.
Not as internal a conflict as Invader's in, but a conflict all the same.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I like this idea that Star-Lord, again, he's very understandably unsympathetic. Is well, okay, yeah, you're just going to say everything you can to get out of this, but I mean, you stole something from the guy who hired me to get you. It's just business. I got to take you down because I also want a bounty here. Mm-hmm. And despite Eltru's claims that it's for my, again, he has very noble reasons for taking this thing. It's for my family and my people. We need
for my family.
Yes. Oh, the great Tim Coon and his improvisations.
Oh yes.
Colorblind Cow, Super Academy, donate now. Anyway, so the people, basically, he and his people, they desperately need units. So again, it's literally just, hey, we need the money. We're very poor. We need money, and so again, he's going after the money himself too. So again, it's like you understand kind of where Star-Lord's coming from. At the same time, this guy's super desperate, and he mentions the family, should reach Star-Lord, but it's not at the moment. Anyway, so he. Let's see. He walks into the Guardians bickering about Christmas, and then quotes.
Oh, this is the Christmas I remember. Everyone's fighting.
Yep. And let's see.
And then we get the payoff to the sled, which is, like I said, Dragon, it's both hilarious and heartbreaking at the same time. He's like, I was supposed to get a sled for Christmas. Instead, he gets ravengered.
Yes, he does get ravengered, yes.
I just love the smash cut to that. It's like, we think it's going to be something like really sad, but instead it's kind of more played for comedy. I thought that was well played. I
like this level of we instantly subvert kind of the Christmas trope here.
Exactly.
Like Star-Lord immediately
totally like it'd be so easy to have this be like a like a tearjerker, like, oh, he wanted the sled from his mother, but instead he got ripped away from his mother, and but instead it's just totally played for a joke, which I appreciate.
Well, not necessarily that. I was thinking it's the we're subverting the Christmas trope that, okay, Quill misses the Christmas at home.
Mm-hmm.
And here is that he like this. They say, "Hey, we were hoping to cheer you up with a celebration." Which again, you think that's where the episode's going, but you don't miss Christmas. No, he doesn't, because all the terrible Christmases he had with the Ravagers, and that. Well, you're right. It is played like a joke, but at the same time, there was still that undercurrent of, at 8 years old, he wanted a sleigh, but instead of getting a sleigh, he probably would have. Again, it's unclear like what her state was at that time, but I mean, the point is, whether he would either have not spent another Christmas with his mother, or the fact that he was abducted. Again, I don't know how strict to the movie they're sticking with that, but the point is, I don't know when she was abducted in the show. Right. The point is, again, instead of a Christmas with his mother where he might get a sleigh, he's like he's unwrapping like a monster of some sort, and the Ravagers like laughing at his expense.
Oh God!
And again, like my idea with the Ravagers was that basically had kind of like essentially a Festivus type thing going on, where you had to wrestle for your gifts or something.
Right.
Yeah, basically it's like Yondu is like, it's like they have like a celebration. They get wasted and they just like like they're all partying around. Basically, as a way of like they have like the Earth custom, like they wear like a Ravager version of the Santa suit. Yondu wears a Ravager version of the Santa suit, and he's saying, "Okay, Quill, if you want your gift, you're gonna have to earn it."
Oh God!
A sense of that sort of thing, where basically you wrestle like feats of strength very much. So that was kind of where I was going. But yeah, the idea of Ravage is kind of making a terrible Christmas for Peter Quill, and him like not letting that memory go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So before Star goes into specifics, potentially kind of dwelling on how that makes him feel and what he missed out on, the team is distracted. I love this. There's the gag, really, of this, is that we're before Star can get into specifics of how he feels about this sort of thing, we notice all the Guardians are distracted by watching Christmas Carol.
Yes.
And then we have like the Ghost of Christmas Past. It's kind of a fun little gag of like, hey, you were just having a flashback. They're watching the Ghost of Christmas Past segment.
Dragon, I'm sure we don't have a specific version of Christmas Carol we're watching here. My mind goes to these weird details.
Oh, what are you thinking? You thinking George C. Scott?
Probably George C. Scott. Like, I'd love it if it was Muppet Christmas Carol, but it's probably not.
No, they would have gone more Michael Caine with it if it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that you'll see. Well, we're about to get there anyway. So let's see. So we arrive on the planet Kalu. I think it's Kalu or Kaluians. So Kalu.
Mm-hmm.
It's snow cover, which is like the team's kind of reacting to this because there's not a lot of snow in the galaxy.
Yeah, right. Like Trax is very thrown off by it.
Yeah. So is Rocket
as well. Yeah.
Well, he's thrown into it, but yes.
Right.
So despite Altru's, again, I like that Altru's really going at here. He's very, very Bob Cratchit-esque here. The poor family guys just begging.
Oh God, you're right. He totally is.
So despite Altru's pleas, again, Quill
Sorry,
is just
Mr. Cratchit. I'm just chasing the units.
Exactly.
That's essentially what Quill says.
Very much so. Again, it's all business, and this thing, like Star-Lord would have gone through. And I like that we're kind of hitting this sweet spot with Guardians of the Galaxy. We're kind of hitting that something good, something bad, maybe a bit of both, and it's kind of like something bad followed by something good, which turns into a bit of both. It's like it was good for the wrong reasons, but in the end, turned good.
Okay, and then here's the second reference to Citizen Kane. Allstate gives Quill a snow globe.
Yes, he does that. Amazingly, does not break.
No.
Like the most sturdy galactic snow globe you've ever seen. Because I was saying, literally mirror the show. We'll get there. We're jumping ahead. We're going to get to more Citizen Kane as the thing goes on. Anyway, so Ultra shows the snow globe with his homes, basically, and this is exactly what my what the home looks like. Go there. Tell them not to sell it. Tell them not to sell our home. And we do get a really kind of nice somber bit here. Home is I believe, I forget, or clarify this from T. Does Star Wars say this, or is Ultra says home is everything?
I'm pretty sure Altru says it.
That's a great line to Altru to Quill here, because bear in mind what Quill's kind of denying to himself here is, of course, as usual, he misses home. He's convinced himself, he's like a galactic pirate. I don't need home. But moments again, the Ravagers have kind of calloused him a little bit to that.
Right.
So this whole thing is like deep down again. While he's just like saying, "Oh, I had bad Christmas with the Ravagers." That again, he misses that year with he could have gotten a sled with his mother. It's like, home is everything. It's like that kind of being said to Quill, and that's kind of telegraphing what Quill's true problem is. So it's kind of nice storytelling in that. I appreciate it. So, again, Quill's brushing off that. Tell to the toy soldiers, which are the robotic guards. Fun little, again, toy soldiers. Hey, Christmas.
Can we mix that into the tropes, toy soldiers?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah,
all right. Yeah. Put it in the trope pile. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not exactly the big. No, it would have been hilarious. We got like the big toy soldiers from Santa Claus too, but.
Oh God! Or like the ones from the Disney Christmas Parade, the Babes in Toyland ones.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So now they walk in there. We have Niza. Niza, of course, the gag being he looks like, and his name is a kind of a pun of Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer.
Oh, I get it. Clever.
It looks very, very Ebenezer Scrooge-esque. So he reminds them the deal was for the item and Altru and the item. So they toss the item in there. And by the way, one of my favorites here is honestly, I don't want to get us into a tangent. So we have Stephen Root as Nisa here.
Okay.
Which is cool. I like Stephen Root.
Yeah.
Toss it into the air. Indulge me, please. Toss it into the air, and then his beast jumps up and catches it like a bone.
All right. So the Guardians are escorted to their reward.
Yes. Before we hit that, I want to just remind everyone, this is going to be important for later on when we continue with the episodes, that they have a kind of a cool take on Scrooge here, is that the idea is this item repels spirits away, so the idea of a Scrooge who really, it's almost as if Scrooge knew the ghosts were coming and he could actually avoid it.
That totally sounds like a comic book reinvention of Scrooge or something like that.
It's a cool, again, as much as we always get fat. Here's the thing, Teague, it's so funny. With Christmas Carol, a lot of people get sidetracked by the time travel element. We keep forgetting some people get they always point out oh yeah, the first time travel movie was in literary time travel thing was actually Christmas Carol. When mostly ghost. A lot of ghost.
Right.
Again, it's a story. It's a ghost story, and we gotta repel those. You want to repel and be terrified of those ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so we're going. They're being escorted to their reward. He opens the vault of various treasures, which the Guardians are starting to drool here, and Drax is questioning the purpose of all this treasure. To own, to keep. Very Scrooge McDuckian vault, I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
I love this. Rocket and Star-Lord are having a blast in the Scrooge McDuckian vault.
I just Monkey got to jump in the Scrooge McDuck vault at D23.
Yep.
So
I bet he did.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Niza tells them to basically Niza pulls the wool over their eyes, just showing how greedy he truly is here. The idea is he ushered them into the vault to kill them and take their stuff. Basically, hand over what you have, and basically pulls the trap hole on them, and they all fall down. The soldiers begin to open fire, and then Star-Lord blurs one of the lines of the episodes here. Man, I never get what I want for Christmas. Another great Will Friedle. Perfect casting for a TV.
Yeah, and I gotta say the writing for Star-Lord is very on point. It's just very quippy, very much what the Peter Quill that we know would say.
Not only Ron Stoppel, but also Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah, good resume there for sure.
Okay, let's see. So Groot's providing some cover, very much like the "We Are Groot" scene from the movie.
Oh yeah. By the way, how did they address that? Did the Baby Groot thing just not happen? Is that just a retcon or what?
Oh, here's the thing. I think, bear in mind, I haven't watched the full season, but I know, like, I've glimpsed a little bit of season 2, so I know, I'm pretty sure at a certain point they had they worked in the Baby Groot thing where he has to grow. I don't know if they just instantly grew him back to being, a full-sized Groot, but at times he was blown. There was a time when he was made into a Baby Groot to coincide with the second one.
Okay, got it.
Again, I don't know how fast he grows back.
Sounds like that was probably season 2 then.
Yeah, but there's a chance that they could have blown him up and just. We don't know how fast he grows in this though.
For sure.
Again, bear in mind, that's me not having watched every episode of the show, so I could be entirely wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure they addressed the Baby Groot thing at some point.
Got it.
Okay. So, anyways, Groot's providing cover fire. Essentially, they're fish in a barrel, which has this great gag with Drax where he's Quill saying,
I am not a fish.
His Quill's like, he doesn't even, he realizes the folly in what he's just said when he's looking at Drax. Never mind.
There's a couple moments like that are pretty fun.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. And then Drax is like saying, and honorable warriors must fight face to face. Of course, these are hunks of metal. We can't fight them face to face. This gives them an idea. Let's see, I believe... a
good idea.
Yes, T, a good idea. I think it's Rocket.
The Guardians had a good and practical idea.
Yeah, so I believe Rocket gets Quill's magnet. He basically and this is, I love how everyone's kind of working as part of a team here. Like Rocket gets the idea, Quill has the gear, and then Drax kind of again Groot's providing the cover, and Drax is going in for the kind of the shot here.
Mm-hmm.
Where Drax does this awesome thing where he just jumps right for like a little opening in like the force field, the Groot force field here, where he just jumps and he throws the magnet all the way to the ceiling, and then the metal ceiling, which then basically there's like a pipe they attach the magnet to, like to impales the ceiling. The magnet goes off, and all the robotic guards, they're propelled to the ceiling, and then Rocket, of course, as he always does, he always has a bomb on him at all times. They throws a bomb, which then goes to the ceiling and detonates, and they're all destroyed. Great action bit.
And then basically Guardians of the Galaxy mission breakout happens.
Essentially, yeah.
I'm not even trying to be sarcastic. It's just like, an anti-gravity thing happens, and then they break out, and a beast chases them. Hey, look, roast beast.
Which is funny. Yeah, so they make a break as they make a break for it. Star-Lord's going to start the Milano. Groot has a really cool move I want to highlight where he uses his vines underneath in the ground, basically to kind of come up from the ground, like propel the beast. Which basically once they get in the Milano, then they roast him with the engines. Roast beast.
It's a funny.
Yep, Star-Lord.
It's funny because Dr. Seuss.
And they had to put that bit in there to show that we didn't just kill this thing.
Right.
On a show intended for children. We did not kill this space monster.
Okay, so then we get Gamora's kind of lecturing Quill a little bit. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I need to fix things. And so we get probably the most heartfelt scene in the episode, Dragon, with Altru's family.
Yes. I gotta tell you, so just to address here, I just love the whole, we gotta fix things. Again, I love that Star-Lord just kind of realized the error in his ways like that. Just like, yeah, we gotta. Yeah,
it's a classic Scrooge turnaround.
Yeah.
The arc is complete.
Yeah, so we essentially go to the Cratchit residence.
right.
And here's like, how do you make this better? How do you make kind of the Scrooge thing even better? How do you make this episode even better? We meet Missile, again, like Missile from Mistletoe, voiced by the lovely Greg Delisle, or Greg Griffin, however she is addressing herself these days. Oh yes, and she's in this. That's nice. So yeah, they are invited in. This is a sweet scene here where again starts addressing. Yeah, we screwed up. Basically, I love this too. How nice this family is because Missile and her two kids basically invites the Guardians to join them for their very meager feast. A very meager, again, very Christmas Carol-y meager feast.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this might be a random poll, Dragon, but the bit in Mickey and the Beanstalk where they're like cutting a single bean.
Right. Oh man, I love that scene.
Yeah.
That's my favorite scene from that. This is on the cow.
Right.
Anyway, Yes, I saw that, but yeah, I was kind of distracted by the whole. Oh yeah, it's a meager feast. Yes.
Okay, so we have some fun with Rocket here. He's like, yeah, we basically they cheated us out of the bounty for your husband.
Which again, the base of that announces like, yeah, we actually captured your husband. Again, I love. First of all, I love the Gamora's prominent, like the one slapping Rocket. It's like, hey, little class, come on, little compassion here. But then I love it. This is what's doing for me. Starlo genuinely apologizing, and he's like,
we're gonna clean out Needs' vault and get what's owed to us, and give it to all the needy villagers, minus 10%,
which is hilarious.
What? I just love the what.
Rocky's just so written in character in this, like,
right.
So. But yeah, I just love this kind of almost like kind of Better Call Saul-esque moment with Starlo, where it's like, I'm gonna make it right. You know, the whole you got what you wanted, now it's time to make it right. That sort of thing. Starlo's all about making it right now because we screwed up. We're gonna make it right. We're gonna get him out of there. We should have done in the first place. Yeah. Oh, great Rocket shenanigans. We're not doing it for the Quill being set on the straight and narrow now. Again, getting into a Scrooge arc here. We're not doing it for the units. We're doing it. We're doing it to get that sled. We're doing it to get that sled. If it's the last thing I do.
And that's again another great kind of Citizen Kane callback.
Which again, Gamora's kind of picking up on it. Again, just picking up.
This isn't about Nisa, is it?
Yeah, which also, it's very in character for Gamora. Gamora can basically the one kind of piecing together the Earth parallels with kind of what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Kevin Bacon thing, or the Kevin Bacon and the David Hasselhoff. Like, what did you say? You described your father as the man with the talking boat. It was a talking car, and it was David Hasselhoff. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, again, Quill's he's all in the Christmas spirit, man. We got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an adventure to find Christmas spirit. Essentially, that's essentially what he's getting at with the whole finding the sled path. I'm going to get that sled, that proverbial. I'm gonna make this right mentality. This leads. Oh yes, we have. Oh my god, I love this gag.
Yeah, this is a great bit. This bit kind of sells the whole episode.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I love we have so many great flavors. It's like the best kind of like multi ice cream treat ever. That's kind of what it is. It's like we have all these different flavors here. Again, Quill's like he's kind of gone through his arc, and Moore's like on board with it. Yeah, you're doing the right thing now, and then he can rock it out for himself. And then it's like we're on a journey to find Christmas spirit. And then Drax is taking this very seriously. Yeah, we're on an adventure to do this. In which Drax says, in a very serious and violent way, he promises I promise to pry the key to the vault from Nisa's cold, lifeless hand.
Oh God!
I love how serious he's taking it. Like taking Quill's like, yeah, we're gonna make this right. Yes, I'm gonna pry it from his cold, dead hand if I have to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome, just awesome. How it's like Drax taking the Christmas spirit very seriously, and I love that.
All right.
And Groot's playing with the kids, and Groot has an idea.
A wonderful idea.
Yes, a really wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rocket is sharing the idea, basically that Christmas Carol gave him the idea.
The Groot had a wonderful self-referential idea.
Yes, which was to basically take the using Ghost to con a superstitious old miser out of his stash.
Exactly. Because isn't that what Charles Dickens meant the Christmas Carol to be about? I mean, come on.
Tiki, if that's not Christmas, if that's not what Christmas is all about, Tiki, I need the new greeting cards.
God bless America.
Da, 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 jingle bells. Da, 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 da. Anyway, so how do we get past the security? One foggy Christmas Eve. I thought this was funny. Just again, using the element gun, we can do this. They need to get past security, at least kind of get like a little cover fire going, essentially. Where Quill uses element gun to create a fog, and then he's using lines, kind of very, in a way, just talking about it now, it kind of reminds me of kind of Powerpuff Girls when they're using Beatles quotes all throughout the episode.
Right.
Where Quill's using the Rudolph quotes here. One foggy Christmas Eve. He's kind of explaining as it's happening, kind of deflating what he's going for here. He says, it's from a song. And, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And I like how he starts explaining, just like, wait, no, what am I doing? What am I doing? Just never mind.
Then Drax has a lingering question, Tiki, and what is it?
How could a deer be made out of rain?
Oh my god, just so simply, it's so funny. Okay, Gamora jumps, takes out a few of these guards, and she's like, I love it. She jumps down for like one of Groot's humps, and really good teamwork going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
Takes out a few guards. Star-Lord and Rocket are dressed as ghosts.
Ooh, spooky.
Rocket's peeved that he got stuck with the dress. I told you it because it wouldn't fit me. Nisa is sleeping in his room, which of course is identical to Scrooge's.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't have a gag about like indigestion or something.
I gotta tell you, if you think about the connotation with all this, there's a chance that Charles Dickens may have either explored space or been an alien, because again, he kind of might just modeled after Nisa.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're ancient aliens, Dragon. Ancient aliens.
Yeah. I mean, with the Asgardians kind of count like that. Why not?
Okay. Let's not.
I mean, they do. It's
Dragon,
feasible.
look, I just saw Valerian. Okay, so like my tolerance for like nonsense sci-fi is kind of low right now.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. So I could lay out like a whole Thor 2 the dark.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
How we could, believe me, I could, because we could use the same logic as anyway. Go.
Oh, I know you could. Believe me, I know.
All right, so Nisa's sleeping in a room identical to Scrooge's, with the cool curtain bed, all the regular trimmings. Groot fills the room with bioluminescent spores, or like basically doing like a little lightning bug trick from Guardians, which is really cool. Oh man, I love that scene. Mm-hmm. There are so many good scenes in Guardians. The whole thing's really.
Of course.
Anyway, fills the room with spores as Star-Lord floats using his rockets, floating above him. And by the way, in the series, he can kind of split the mask in half. That's why he has like the eyes like that.
Okay, nice.
He can make different parts of the mask. Anyway, so Star-Lord's looking very ghostly. He's floating over him like a spirit after the keys to the vault.
Rocket has a Beatles reference.
By all means, share it.
I'm gonna take you on a magical misery tour.
Yes.
Not the album that the song Rocky Raccoon was on, but
yeah, basically they're he's using the talisman, which obviously is no.
But then I love Groot's delivery. It's just like, I am Groot.
So getting there, so one more I want to really hit on why that's so great is that we have this group where like. That's how evil we are. Rocket's just like bolstering them up as the thing is saying, that's how evil we are. The spirit, your little spirit talisman doesn't even work on us.
Right.
And let's see, then basically, it's basically you give us the key to your riches. It's such a Jack Benny moment, I got to tell you. Honestly, that's a take I'd love to see with Scrooge. A very Jack Benny. Like, he's so cheap and he's so frugal. He would actually. I just love this concept with Scrooge that he's so greedy. That he would rather, if given the choice between his riches and his ark, he will go on the ark to preserve his riches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so give us the key. You're going on a ghostly voyage into every mistake you've ever made, and that made you the universally despised scum you are. And he's down for it. He's absolutely down for it. When do we leave?
Yeah.
That's, to me, it's like, we have some new reinventions on the Scrooge, like some tropes here. We got some new some new takes on the Scrooge myth, which, by the way, we have two Scrooges for the price of one. We have a literal Scrooge, and we have, like, our arc of Scrooge.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's kind of funny is the one actual Scrooge does not change at all.
No, not one bit.
So ironic. Anyway, so then... following that, Rocket's then saying, "Hey, I'm going to show you essentially, I'm going to show you Christmas present, which is going to be that all the misery, the stuff they actually can show them because they can't take them to the past. We don't have the budget for that." And then we have, for me, this is what we're getting to here. Is, oh my God, this the accentuate Rocket's point about Christmas present. I am Groot, as like his arm extends with the snow globe, and to me, it's so obviously not Ghost at that point. When I am Groot. Right. And if he was really listening, he would have heard that, okay, Groot technically, I don't think he spoke in the scene, but you can probably figure, okay, I am Groot, that's probably not a ghost. And it's like, it's shot so hilariously fake.
That's your future if you don't hand over the keys. I just love how their idea of being ghosts are just like enunciating things, like elongating their vowels.
Exactly. And again, they're going off of that one movie, which essentially, depending which version of the movie they watch, that's their read on what a ghost is.
Right.
No, ghosts, that's how theatrical ghosts sound like.
All right.
So after the Iron Groot holding the snow globe, I was not a ghost. They use the trinket. Basically, the trinket is your future, and then he freaks out. And again, this fun take on Scrooge. He freaks out. I'm going to be poor. And then basically, this kind of motivates him to just as he's about to kind of give him the key and everything. It freaks him out enough. He's flipping over. Then he realizes, oh wait, I have a blaster under my pillow. For the Tooth Fairy. Oh, actually, it's a blaster. He has a blaster under his pillow, and he then uses it to try and one, he takes Groot's hand off, which is very aggressive, I gotta say. Then we have the Citizen Camo, where he actually drops a snow globe, and it falls into the bed. Does not break though. Very sturdy galactic snow globe right there. I gotta tell you. Again, this is why the growth rate's all kind of. His hand grows back really fast. I can't wager a guess on that. But the point is, Groot's hand grows back while they're dodging blast. The hand grows back. He goes for he's grabbing. I love this. That Groot's grabbing for the snow globe under bed while all this chaos is going on, while they're like evading blast and everything. Like, hey, calm down, man. It's not us. We're not ghosts. That's even worse. You're thieves. And then, Groot so triumphantly, he grabs it like we all do at some point. Like he lifts up before he realizes, wait, I gotta remove the hand before I exclaim victory. And in doing so, he throws the guy's aim off, which big hole in the side of the castle. And it takes out a wall, but they find the key right in the sock drawer.
Womp womp womp.
Okay, meanwhile, Star-Lord and Gamora, they go after Altru. Well, they're going after Altru. They go to Rocket's going after the take us through some of this, huh?
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean to leave you in the dust. You're just kind of going at a quick pace. Okay, let's see. So yeah, they're going after him. They need a way to catch up. Let's see.
Well, they split up. So Groot, they're going after the Vault. Sora and Gamora, they're going after Altru. Altru has this really nice bit where he says, I knew you'd come back. There's something in you. And this, to me, was a really genuine. This is kind of one of those Garfield moments we had here. Like one of those little Garfield moments. That's the thing with the
Christmas spirit.
That, to me, it might be like our barometer for just like that Christmas spirit description. It's a Garfield moment.
Exactly. Quill's quote is like, well, I might still have a little Christmas spirit in me after all.
A drop or two left. That's such a classy line. Just like him, describing what he sees in him. Christmas spirits. Like him acknowledging, yeah, it is a little bit of Christmas spirit after all. Such a nice moment, Tiki. Such a Garfield moment.
Okay, so they're loading the treasure, and then the robots kind of burst in, and it's too heavy. It's too heavy, Dragon. They need some mode of transportation. Now, I want to point out, the coolest image we've ever seen on Christmas in July, up until this point, Dragon, is Batman riding a reindeer, right?
It's up there. It's up there.
But I would have to say, Groot as a sled gives it a run for its money.
I was really caught.
Sled is amazing.
You're right. That is definitely the image of the episode. It's absolutely Groot as a sled. It's perfect. But before Hidden Pine, I like what Guilt's is there too. Is that it's a really nice moment where Star-Lord it looks like Groot's to save. I was just imagining they're gonna okay, ditch the riches and we'll get out of there. That's what I thought they were going with. They didn't go with it.
Right,
I kind of applaud them for subverting that. Hey, it's your riches are your lives. I'm thinking.
Exactly.
But no, it's this really nice bit where Groot seemingly is going to sacrifice himself yet again. Hey, we're too heavy. He gets off, and then Star-Lord says, no one's getting left behind. Again, I like it. Star-Lord's sticking up for his buddy Groot right there. And then Groot, he reveals he actually jumped off to transform into a sled. Literally, the visual, the perfect image of Star-Lord's dreams coming true.
Yep. Looks like you got that sled for Christmas after all, Quill.
Now, there's a fist pumping moment if I ever saw. I'm like, yes! Yeah! Groot is a sled. And they're driving it to escape while Rocket's driving the
And to all a good night.
Yep. Rocket's driving the rescuees and the booty essentially, while Star-Lord and the gang they're evading missiles on the sled.
Mm-hmm.
And Star-Lord's having a ball while this is going on. By the way, he's having a great time on on his sleigh ride here.
Oh yeah.
Drax Gamora deflecting a few blasts, and this to me is really the coolest part of the sled thing. So when we use Star's using his jets on his boots to propel the Groot sled across the canyon here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see Santa pull that move. Let's see, and then they're realizing, okay, we're about to hit a cliff here. We could use some flying reindeer right now. Then Groot uses an arm basically as a kind of a grapple.
Oh, that's such a cool move.
Oh yeah,
it's like the arm coming out of the sled. It's really visual, really nice.
Oh, and it kind of evades some soldiers, and that worked out nicely. Mm-hmm. Then, unfortunately, the Beast is on their tail. Rocket has an ultimatum as Nisa is coming like a little communicator on the rocket powered, not the sled, but like the little transport. Return the treasure, or precious. He is precious beast. Or precious will devour your friends. And then Rocket, as Rocket would, comes up with option 3. Fires up at the mountain, causing an avalanche.
Oh yeah.
Which is nice, which is cool. Of course, folks, let me remind you, and I don't want to never underestimate the power of avalanches. I've learned that if I learned anything this past week,
from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, yes. That's what I was getting at. Just don't underestimate the power of a good avalanche.
Right.
So let's see.
I'm sorry, War for the Planet of the Apes, to be accurate.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Starting. Then Rocket's really. I'm starting to like the snow. Again, the snow's starting to work to defeating his enemies. He let's see. Then following this, Nisa threatens to blow up the transport. He cares more about vengeance than his treasure at this point. He's really that fixated on.
I can't have my treasure. No one will. Which is like the complete opposite of a Scrooge arc.
Yes. You want charity? I'm gonna blow us all. I'm gonna blow us all up.
Exactly.
It's like what if at the end of Christmas Carol? Remember was like that?
Oh God!
Where it's like. For example, I'm gonna give you 2 versions of this, like 2 Disney versions of it.
Okay.
You have my favorite version where you have that really sweet scene with Beaker where it's like a scarf for me.
Yeah, the scarf, of course. It's iconic.
Right after I got that, they like reveal like there's plastic explosive in the bag and like
oh no. Oh God. Oh God.
The other version that would be just
oh, that's awful. Oh, that's so bad. Oh God.
The other version of that, of course, would be just the Disney, the Scrooge McDuck version in the Mickey's Christmas Carol. If he's like putting like all the pouches of gold like in the guy's pants, just like
oh, no.
They reveal like under his coat, he's wrapped in plastic explosives. Kaboom! Like if no one, I can't have this gold. No one can. If I can't have this gold, no one can.
Suicide bomber Scrooge McDuck. Are you proud of yourself, Dragon? Are you proud of yourself?
Moderately.
For tainting the name of an American treasure?
Well, it's not really tainting, more like blowing him up. But
anyways, I'm just kidding. So
then it'd be served as the roast beast for Christmas.
Fa la 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 la.
Is that stuffing? No, it's gold coins. Are they chocolate coins? No, just gold.
Oh God! Oh God! That would be so unhealthy. Anyways.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, back on point here. So let's see. Anyway, Nisa's about the boat transport. He tells Altru to steer the ship and avoid the antimatter vortex. Essentially, that's the bomb that's built into the sleigh. Basically, going to cause like an infinite kind of vortex it'll all be sucked up into.
Mm-hmm.
Star-Lord. Oh man, I love this bit. So while they're to the side, they realize okay, something's going wrong. Basically, a 5-minute detonator sequence has been kind of queued for this vortex bomb. Star-Lord, awesomely, he used like a grappling thing on the side of his belt to kind of get his way up there. Oh man, I love a good grappling gun or a good grappling hook. That was like a really cool way to give it to Star-Lord, man. Which was just for me, that was awesome. No one else, just for me. I like that.
Sure,
Rocket.
Sure.
So Rocket's trying to dislodge the antimatter vortex. By dislodge, as Peter fears, dislodge you mean blast. You mean blasting it, don't you? You blast literally. By some miracle, he blasts around it, just firing right at it, which dislodges. And basically, he launches it across the way. So no vortex, which means victory. Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
They bring Altru home. They return the treasure to the people. Bear in mind, all this treasure was like taxed unnecessarily from these. We kind of glossed over that now at the end. So they say that's why he had all the treasure. It wasn't just like stealing.
It was
like,
kind
hey,
of like a Prince John sort of situation from Robin Hood.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have this wonderful bit with Rocket Tiki.
Oh, let me see. I'm sorry, I don't think I have it.
Think Tiger Philanthropist. They're giving back.
They're giving back. I'm sorry, man. I don't have it in my notes.
Rocket's very much in the giving spirit. He's genuinely in the giving spirit. He looks at Peter. He says, "Hey, don't look at me like that, Quill. Wipe that smirk off your face." He's basically, "Yeah, I'm in the holidays." It's almost like kind of like, "Yeah, we're saying it like a bunch of guys."
Dragon, I'm terribly sorry. Literally, all I had in my notes about that was Rocket is spreading the cheer. I need to write my notes more descriptively. I'm sorry.
Well, it was a really nice bit where he's like giving that bit where Quill's again showing how far Quill's gotten in his Screwdriver. He's in the Christmas spirit. He's like recognized that Christmas spirit has actually spread the rocket, and that he's actually been all money obsessed. And he's actually like, "Hey, don't just like take a handful." He grabs the guy's hat. Get a hatful. Wipe that look away from your face, Quill. Don't like, yeah, I'm in the giving spirit. Yeah. Are you happy? We're a bunch of guys in a circle right now.
Oh God, just a bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
Essentially. So then the precious beast delivers the antimatter vortex bomb at Nisa's feet. Like, what treasures have you brought from me, precious? And then like, no, and then it goes off. And the idea is like they're in kind of like an infinite. It's like an infinite prison for Nisa.
It's kind of like the Phantom Zone.
Kind of. Again, I'm not. That's what it reads as. Yeah, it's
right.
Not like the Lego movie Phantom Zone. That's much more fun.
Of course, because that has all the crossovers. So that's what an antimatter vortex looks like.
Yeah.
All right.
The kids, they're really nice. We have two bits here, and then it's over. We have this again. Wonderful Grey Griffin / Deliles. I know. I wish you just stuck with the Deliles, but it's always like, Griffin now. So anyway, I'm sure the kids are just so happy to have their father back, have Altru back. And we have this great transitioning bit with Quill here, where he says, "That's a lot better than a sled." Basically, the family reunited. It's a lot. It's a lot better. Yeah, this is a lot better.
Again with the Citizen Kane. The Citizen Kane is just all over this episode.
Then we flash back to kind of like the perfect little ending here.
This is a great flashback. This like really captures the heart of the first movie, I think.
Peter and Meredith, and he made. Oh man, it's so sweet. Just give me his name. Oh my God, it's so adorable. That he made her. I made it for you, and she opens it. It's a star. It's like a little star ornament with a heart drawn on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a paper star. It's a star heart. It's
for the top of the tree.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so nice. And then she says a line. I know it's like she could probably say this every time we just get a reaction out, but it's such a perfect line that first. I love when it comes back. Like, oh, I love it, my little Star Lord. Like, oh man, that's a great origin for the name. Oh man.
Of course. That's
good. And then we have the two of them in front of the tree with the little star on the top of it. Oh man, that's better than a sled right there, Tiki. I'll tell you that much. That's better than a sled.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm not going to argue with you, Dragon. It definitely is. All right. Okay, so there you go. I guess I'll launch into some final thoughts before we get to our tropes and get out of here. Dragon, I gotta say, like talking through this, like I liked it when I first saw it. I've watched it a couple times now. I did like it. I gotta say, like talking through it, I really appreciate it a lot more because you and I really did like kind of break down how this special does sort of sort of examine the tropes and kind of poke fun of them in a way that Guardians of the Galaxy would. And I think that's the strongest trait with this episode. You know what I mean? I mean and it goes beyond like the obvious ones, like the big Christmas Carol set piece in the middle of the episode. It's all very subtle. Like, the whole idea of like, we think we're going to get a very tragic tear-jerking origin story. Instead, we get kind of a joke, but it still has dramatic implications. It's just like, it's just a lot of setups and a lot of setups and payoffs, and a lot of unexpected humor. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. I was amused all the way through. It's a great kind of subversion of the Christmas Carol story. Like the All True family is just it's such a good stand-in for the Cratchit family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, while Christmas was a Christmas episode, of course, but I love that, you and I, we just have like a lot of like bombastic fun with the Christmas stuff in our Guardians pitches. And we had some fun music choices and everything. It was like less Christmas songs, but we worked them in inventive, what we thought were inventive ways. And I don't want to mean anything. I'm just saying like, we're not the guys at the MCU. We don't have like a patent like making like the best Guardians of the Galaxy special ever.
Obviously not, because James Gunn actually wants to make a Guardians of the Galaxy special, and I'm sure.
Believe me, it'll be better than anything.
It'll be way better than anything we come up with. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like we're just dedicated fans of the Guardians here. Right, like if we made that because we thought it was never going to happen. Now there's a chance it might even happen. I'm just showing you that's how ironic the world is these days. But this one, they went a lot more subtle, a lot more kind of from the heart with it, which is something, again, that's something really to commend. And I can only imagine like what other possibilities you can have with a Christmas special with the Guardians of the Galaxy if James Gunn ever gets to it.
For sure. But
yeah, this was fun. It's kind of a nice little, as Tiki said, it's a good subversion of some arcs. So the Christmas is kind of in the back. Is in the background like the hallmarks of what it's getting at. It's impressively subtle about it. It's not just like ordinarily what they would have done is like, we have like them trying to make like a Christmas, trying to make like a Christmas in space for Quill, and then it's like, this is going to go disastrously. We're on a mission, and then at the end, it's like, you know what? I'm in the Christmas spirit, guys, which probably would have been passable, but they would have done a little better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I was very impressed by it. I'd never seen it before this, and I was enjoyed it.
All right, let's get into the trope of it all. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Christmas Carol.
Yeah, of course. Everything with Christmas Carol, the All True family being the stand-in for the Cratchits. Of course, yeah, unexpected location, the All Be Home for Christmas angle, longing for Christmas nostalgia.
History of bad Christmases with the Ravagers.
Yes.
Scrooge with Quill.
The coveted Christmas gift.
Yes. Let's see. Christmas tree with Groot.
Of course.
Not exactly an umbrella tree, but
references to Christmas carols.
Yes, song lyrics. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh yeah, gotta love it. Roast beast.
Yes.
Grinch references.
Oh yeah. We have kind of multiple Scrooges, in which one's a literal Scrooge and one is just kind of the Scrooge arc.
Right.
Getting someone to the Christmas spirit, with Rocket as well. I mean, someone just comes completely like all for the money, and by the end, he was like into the Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's snow.
Snow indeed.
First snow experience.
Right.
Yeah, and like an emotional, nostalgic ending.
Well, I kind of mentioned the nostalgia, but you're right, the emotional ending for sure.
I mean, like kind of very much like a Hallmark ending. That's kind of was good.
It's a Hallmark moment. Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of good trips in there.
Okay. So, folks, I think this episode was definitely a winner when it comes to Christmas in July, because it definitely broke down and examined a lot of the tropes, it kind of put them in a little bit of a scientific sort of thesis, if you will, because Guardians of the Galaxy is science fiction, and so Guardians of the Galaxy is like, all right, let's make this a little bit of a scientific experiment, and that's what we like to do here, Dragon.
As well as peeking beneath the wrapping paper.
Once again. All right, Dragon. So, what are we going to do tomorrow night?
Well, next, we're going to talk about... we're going to go with Matlock.
Yes.
Not just any Matlock. Matlock featuring, again, there's so much Albuquerque verse in this, you wouldn't believe it.
I know.
Not only is it Matlock, which, of course, is referenced all over Better Call Saul, but it is also featuring one of our favorite Christmas tropes, Bryan Cranston in a Santa suit.
Wow, that's just amazing. So this is great on multiple levels. Of course, Matlock is kind of like the the blueprint that Jimmy McGill used for his Gimme Jimmy days as a elder law lawyer. And, of course, the Bryan Cranston of it all with Breaking Bad. So, yeah. Going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. So, Tiki, I got to pose this to you. Tiki, I'm just on the edge of my seat. Tiki, I've been racking my brains. I can't anymore. I'm so desperate for it, Tiki. It's like I'm longing more than Star-Lord longed for that beautiful sled. I'm at wit's end, man. What do we call this wonderful process where we can have like a wonderful idea? I need a wonderful idea. What the heck are we gonna call? What are we gonna call this process, Tiki? The scientific process of finding out not only what the true meaning of Christmas is, but finding out what all the tropes mean, Tiki. What does it mean? How does it fit together? What's the pattern? What makes a good Christmas special? What do we keep falling into? What on earth do we call this? What is this?
It's putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July.
I am Groot.
I am Groot.